Hi, today our topic is social responsibility. So, after discussing the introduction to ethics and social responsibility and ethics, let's today see what is the social responsibility and its nature, and particularly what is our individual social responsibility toward the society. Like I said in the introduction, that this is our responsibility as individual toward the this world or to this society or to this universe. Okay, first of all, let's define what is social responsibility. Uh, as we have already discussed this in our first lecture about introduction to social ethics and social responsibility. Social responsibility is an ethical theory in which individuals are accountable for fulfilling their civic duty. Civic duty means their duty toward their city, toward their society. The action of an individual must benefit the whole of the society. It means any action we do, we have to keep in mind that our action benefit should have some benefit for the society as well, not only for ourselves. In this way, there must be a balance between economic growth and welfare of society and the environment, like we have discussed in that the first chapter, that any action we are doing, there should be balance. Any action or any work or any project we do, there should be balance between economic growth and welfare of the society and the environment. So these are the three factors we measure our action toward the society. So if we are taking care of all these things, we are socially responsible. Social responsibility is a duty of every individual has to perform so as to maintain a balance between the economy and the ecosystem. So what is economy? Economy is the monetary or the money or the material what we have, and plus ecosystem is the are all the activities which are generating some profit. Any transactions which money is involved or material is involved is called economy. And the ecosystem is basically our environment, and our action or relation with the environment is called ecosystem. And there are many things in our ecosystem which involves human beings, animals, all the natural resources are also part of our ecosystem, including air, water. So striving for social responsibility helps individuals, organizations and government have a positive impact on development, business and society with a positive contribution to bottom line results. So uh, it is why we are having social responsibility, performing our social responsibility or striving for that. As individual, we help also other individuals, organizations and government with a positive impact on the development, economic development and positive contribution toward the bottom line of the society or any country. So this responsibility can be passive by avoiding engaging in socially harmful acts, or acts by performing activities that directly advance social goals. So when we are saying this responsibility is passive, that means is that we are not bound to, it is not necessary, we are not forced to do the social responsibility. It is like passive is, so what we do, we avoid any action which harm other people or harm the society, and we do those actions or those activities or performing those work which uh, directly helpful to the social causes of the society, like charity, education, not wasting our resources. These are all things are coming under the activities social responsibility which helping our society. So let's now discuss the different dimension of our social responsibilities. So according to one model, which we will going to see in the next slide, dimensions of social responsibilities include four dimensions. Basically, social responsibility includes four dimensions. uh, Number one is economic. Economic mean, like I explained you in the previous slide, that economic is anything which related to material, money, or anything which has some tangible value for a human being, and then from getting that we what we get happiness and comfort in our life. So we, this is our responsibility, that we should have well-being, we should be economically, we should be independent, or economically we should have a well-being, we shouldn't be poor, we should have enough resources to maintain ourselves or maintain our family. So we should have a happy and comfortable life. So number one is the dimension. Number two, legal, obey the law to stay safe and secure. So this is our duty, or this is another dimension of social responsibility, that we follow all the laws to stay ourselves safe, keep other people safe, and keep this society safe and secure. Then number third one is the ethical. So be ethical. I mean, you are, like we have already studied what ethical is, that our action should be such that no, we are not harming anything and keeping our economic, legal, economic, environmental, uh, dimensions in tax. We don't do anything which harm other people or the society. So then the last one is the philanthropic. Philanthropic mean charity, and it is discretionary, mean it is your choice if you want to give charity and if you don't want to. So to be a good citizen, you should be philanthropic. You should do some activities in which you give some charity. Charity is not just the money, charity is your time, your volunteerism, you helping anything with any service. So these all are the four dimensions of the our social responsibility. Like I said, this is from a model, is called Archie Carroll's social responsibility pyramid and social responsibility. So these are like if like we have studied, these are like 1, 2, 3, 4 different levels of social responsibility. On the bottom is be profitable, be economical responsibility. So you have your economic responsibility, that it is called like your well-being, and do what is required by global capitalism. Basically it is driven by the our needs, that we should have some things, and capitalism means we have to work and we have to earn our living. So, and keep in mind, anything which we do, economic transaction, we should be legally and ethically, we have to be ethical, and we should have legal. So economic welfare does not mean that we steal things from other people or grab others' rights, or occupy other people's land or resources. So we should, when we are economic responsibility, keeping our social, our ethical and legal responsibility. So what is the legal responsibility? Obey the law, do what is required by the global stakeholders, like our government, our world. See, world is becoming like a global village. So we have to do the things which are asked us, are required by the global uh, stakeholders in this world, like our neighbors, international United Nations, and other lot of international institutions. And then be ethical. Ethical responsibility, it is do what is expected by global stakeholders, or who are the stakeholders in our life. In so this is our expectations to do the things. Then the on the top of the pyramid is the philanthropic responsibility. So be good global corporate citizen, is good, be a good citizen, and do what is desired by the global stakeholders. So this is regarding the global things. So we should do economically, and then legal. The first our responsibility is the material welfare of us. Then we have to keep the law and order in this country or this society, and then we have to do both things uh, ethically, because sometimes maybe you are legally you are doing something legal, but maybe ethically it is not right. So in the next lectures we will differentiate this thing too. And the last is that if you have extra money, if you have extra resources, give other people, or as a charity, or if you have extra time, extra educate, mean more, if you are more educated, you can give to the less fortunates. Let's discuss this dimension in detail now. The first one is economic dimension. The economic of social responsibility hold that society will benefit most when business is left alone to produce and make profitable goods. So this is kind of economic social responsibility that let the people do the things what they want to do. That is like economic freedom to produce things, of course staying under the legal framework. Then social economic responsibility places emphasis not only on profit but also on the impact of business decision on the society. So you will fulfill the economic responsibility, but at the same time make the decisions which have a positive impact on the society. You just don't go after profit, but you also see its impact on the society. Economic sustainability, maintaining an economic growth without hurting the environment. So uh, this is called economic sustainability. So anything you use, like if we are using wood, we are putting new trees, so it will be stay the world will be stay the same. We if we are using the resources, we are also creating new resources for the future generation, because this is the called sustainability, economic sustainability. So we will always, our even the next generation will be stay economically have economic well-beings. Then income equality, distribution of wealth should be proper, that we should have a proper distribution of wealth. So it's not that few people have all the money and the rest of the people don't have money. So this is our economic social responsibility, that we will work for income in against income inequality. So and well-beings is another thing, is well-being, economic and material well-being of the people. So we have to this is our economic socio-economic responsibility, that we will have our actions should do what sustain this economy, uh, have a try to be equal or fair distribution of wealth, and then everyone's economic well-being. Legal dimension of our social responsibility model refers to obeying government laws and regulation. It is our social responsibility that we obey all the government laws and regulation, like paying tax, following traffic law, and all these in economic, when we are doing any economic transactions, or if we are creating any relations. So we have all these legal documentation or legal dimension of our social responsibility. We shouldn't do anything which is illegal. So there are two different kind of laws. One is civil laws. It is this is the set of rights and the duties of individuals and organizations. So basically civil laws are telling you what are your rights and what are your duties as a individual, or as a business organization, or as a non-business organization. So these are the, we have to if someone is taking away our right, we have to go to courts and fight for that law. And also we have to do the duties or responsibility which are written in the civil law. Then there's a criminal law. Criminal law is uh, prohibits specific actions and impose fine, imprisonment as a punishment for breaking the law. So we have to follow the law, and if we unfortunately or by mistake or incidentally if we break some law, then we have to be pay the fines, or and we have to go to jail as a punishment of breaking the law. The next is ethical dimensions, behaviors and the activity that those are expected or prohibited by organization members or our society, the community and the society are not codified into the law. So some things, sometimes some things are maybe is legal, but they are not ethically right. So sometimes is the example that you can sell anything at any price you want to, but you don't have to exploit the people if there's a shortage of thing and you start raising the price. So raising the price at the time of shortage or time of disaster is, you can do that legally, no one is getting, but it is unethical to do that. It's mean you are exploiting your people, I mean your society, and hurting other people. Then standard norms are expectation that reflect the concern of major stakeholder. Basically these are the actions, or these are the responsibility which we are expected from other people or our society or our government. Last one, like I explained before, is philanthropic. It is discretionary. Discretionary mean it is, if you want to, you can give charity. If you don't want to give, no one is going to force you to give the charity. But is charity is also part of your social responsibility. Uh, if you have if you have more money than other people, and you think that by giving some money you will benefit to any member of the society, so you can do that. That is also part of, but that is on the top of your social responsibility. First you have to fulfill the other social responsibility, like you have the economical, then legal, and then ethical. This doesn't mean that you are not following all three. You are economic, your activities are, you know are not are not legal, you are not following the law, or you are stealing money or exploiting other people and getting the money, and then you are giving the charity. Like in our society mostly it happens like that, that we make money by illegal ways and then go back and give the charity, and by giving the charity we think that our all sins or our all illegal things are covered. So after doing everything economically, legally and ethically, if you think you have extra money, you can go and give other people, but it doesn't mean that you steal money and then you give the as a charity. So I hope you understand what I am saying. Like I said, we will discuss about the individual social responsibility. ISR is about an individual's becoming responsible in his or her action that have effect on communities outside of his or her immediate circle. So this is the of your responsibility. Anything you do and its impact on to the close of your on the community or outside of your immediate circle. I mean, it is not you is not your family, but outside the family. So any action that is your called individual social responsibility. The immediate circle being family and friends, so it is outside of that. There can be an argument about also including family and friends, but it would be rather relevant to include them as a part of individual personal responsibility. So because that your family and your spouse and your people who are dependent on you, that is your personal responsibility. So going beyond is becoming your individual social responsibility. It expand on this by promoting a proactive stance toward positively influencing and affecting the people and environment outside your immediate circle. So it's proactive. It's not like it happens and it happens. You have to be deliberately doing that things. You should be proactive. You have to plan it to do some positive activities which are influencing and affecting the people and the environment. You are doing betterment of people, and also for the environment outside of your if you are planting anything in your house, that is your personal. But if you are planting anything in the street, cleaning the street and making it clean, so that is kind of your individual social responsibility. Individual social responsibility is at the roots of corporate social responsibility, and because a corporate uh, compromises of compromises of individuals, and hence determine the social responsibility culture it creates. So even organizations, even business social responsibility is also dependent on the individual social responsibility, because organizations are made of human beings. If they are socially responsible, ultimately the organizations are also socially responsible. This is the intermingled relationship between CSR and ISR. So this is like both we have they got overlapped or come together. So like corporate and individual social responsibility. Individual social responsibility includes the engagement of each person toward the community where he or she lives. So it is basically this your your responsibility toward your community, which can be expressed as an interest toward what happening in the community, as well as in the active participation in solving the some of the local problems. So basically, when you are taking interest uh, in your community issues, and you have interest, and not only showing interest but also actively participating in solving some of the local problems, that is called your that is also part of your individual social responsibility. The individual social responsibility also could be expressed in making donations for significant for the society cause, social, cultural, or ecological. So like we already talked about that, donations, that is charity. So we can not only give the time or our intelligence to solve those problems physically and mentally, and plus also we can give the some monetary monetary help to solve this social and cultural or ecological mean which are the issues related to our environment, like planting tree, water, gases. So these are all green gases or green things, or these are all the psychological issues. Like I mentioned, many kinds of social response, the way you can have fulfill your responsibility toward the society. So the question is, if I donate, am I practicing individual social responsibility? Yes, individual social responsibility is not only about committing acts of charity, working for communities where you have material interest. So this is the why sometimes why we give the charity, because we make money from there. We are a business there. For example, if a big store chain store is giving donation to a school or a college, to a university or to a lab, it is because that organization has a interest into that. For example, if we are cleaning a street or paving a road or paving a street, so it we have, because if our neighborhood will look good, so maybe the prices of our houses become higher. So this is our also we are committing charity, but we are also working community if we have where we have material interest. These only form part of individual social responsibility, which is broader concept that can be manifested through action as below. So philanthropic behavior of an individual, the campaigner, volunteer. So not only the giving the money, we also campaign about things. We can be volunteer, we can become activist instinct in the individual, and picks up and support issue affecting the societies. Like there, you will see every day some people go and have a strike or protest for their social rights, for human rights, for women rights. So all these things are part of our individual social responsibility. And sometimes freedom of press, and their political rights. Sometimes raising some, they have issue of local issue. Maybe they show their protest to show the government that we need this thing or we need that thing or those facilities. So basically, when you are doing this, you are also practicing individual social responsibility. The verb to coupled with an individual being ethical, integrity and honesty is in her outward dealing. So not only when you are participating with money or with your time or with your service, if you are working with, if your all dealings are honest and integrity, so that is becoming like also part of your individual social responsibility. When you are not lying, when you are honest, when you are hardworking, when you are not cheating someone, so these are all things come your individual social responsibility. Next is how individual social responsibility different from the corporate or the corporate responsibility. So individual versus corporate responsibility. Let's see, individual as at the roots of corporate social responsibility. Like I told you before, all the corporations or all the organizations are made of people, because a corporate comprises of individuals and hence determines the social responsibility culture it's follow. A CSR is being increasingly viewed as a tool to push, whereas where push greater need for the ISR is expected. So CR is being increasingly viewed as a tool to push a greater need for individual is expected. Giving people the power to empower is a big indicator of the shift. So individual social responsibility become way of life, and CSR may be an automatic end result. So basically, like I already explained you, the individual social responsibility is the trigger for the social corporate responsibility. If people who are working for organizations are socially responsible, automatically that organization will be also become socially responsible. The next question is that why it is true that basically corporate social responsibility is also a individual social responsibility. So the Nobel Prize winner Milton Friedman had said that the social responsibility of business is to make a profit. So why, even though it is a business objective of a organization is also to make the profit, but also their social responsibility is also make the profit. So most of the, according to him, most of the organization, when they are doing business, actually they are engaging in the social responsibility. They are engaging, why? Because they are engaging themselves with the well-being of the society. For example, if you take all the businesses out of the society, you will see society will come down, because as we have studied, the bottom of this whole social responsibility is about economic. So if we make money, if we are economically we are good, in a better shape, if you see the countries, those are in economically advanced, those people are more socially responsible. It is like both way. So if you are more socially responsible, maybe you are more economically advanced, and if you are more economically advanced, maybe you are more socially responsible. So this is the both way. So like if we have, if businesses are, for this reason, governments are always encouraging businesses to come to have business, and we are also telling people to do the business. Why is that? Because companies create thousands of jobs. When you have job, you have economically well-being, so you are economically sound, so you have money to spend, you have money to food, for education, for other necessities, both directly or indirectly through suppliers, distributors and retailers. So when you create one business, there is a chain of businesses you are helping them, because you are increasing the business, you are increasing the GDP of that particular country or society. So when you have higher GDP, you are producing more, your people become more economically well. So this imports valuable skills too, is implies we, when they hire you, they train you, so you're not our, not only our monetary or economic resources improve, also our human resource improved. Then it pay crores in the taxes, so they pay billions of dollars, billions of rupees in taxes. So those taxes are used for the well-being of the other people, I mean the people who don't have money. It improves the life of millions of the satisfied customer with its products and services. So when they produce service products, see, they create comfort and happiness for the society. Like if there are more universities, more schools, even they are in private sector, but what they are doing, they are catering the services to the many thousands or millions of people, and they are improving their lifestyle or life economically they're becoming much better. So this is an enormous service to society. So when we if we see all these points, so we see that basically corporates are working for the individual social responsibility. Companies should focus single-mindedly on their competence, providing goods and services better than their competitors, and not get distracted by the extraneous activities. So they should be working more on, see, when they are working more efficiently and effectively, they are also saving the resources. They are not wasting the resources, because if they if they waste the resources, their profit will come down. So they try to be more efficient. So when you are using your resources more efficient, basically you are sustaining this environment, sustaining all our resources. A company's social responsibility to make profit legally, not to harm nature, and uphold the highest standard of the governance. So like we have already discussed, that they should make profit legally, without harming the environment and keeping the highest standards of governing other people or managing the people. It is then left for the promoters of the corporations to practice ISR from their personal profit after tax to really answer the social responsibility. So after making money, the all the owner of those businesses, after paying tax and after doing all these things for their employees or for their customers or for their suppliers, if they when they make the money, then they also go and do the social responsibility like charity and things like that. So the next question is individual social responsibility is practical, especially the ethical bit. The part of ethical is I'm sorry, individual social responsibility is practical, especially the ethically part of that. So difficult but possible. Some manifestation is making decision based on what is good for greatest number of the people. So for example, sometime you think you are doing individual social responsibility, but maybe it is not good for some people and bad for some people. But again, you will making decision based the what is the good for the most of the people, more of the people. For example, if they are making a dam, water dam, so but maybe or they are making some way, maybe they are doing something, maybe it will be not good for few people, but if it is good for the most of the people, it is good. It means you are doing a social responsibility, promoting individual self-interest as long as it does not harm other. So sometimes you do charity to promote yourself, but if you are not hurting someone, then it is okay. But if you are hurting someone, or getting some illegal benefit from your that charity or of your promotion, that may be not right. So making decision with the belief that everyone has a fundamental right that should be respected and protected. So when you are doing some social responsibility or social work, so make the decisions with the belief that everyone has fundamental right. Don't infringe the fundamental rights, don't hurt the fundamental, don't uh, take their fundamental rights away. So and respect people and protect them, and respect them and protect their rights, making decisions which treat everyone fairly and consistently. As long as your decisions are fair and consistent, you can say that my individual social responsibility is more ethical. So basically, when you are doing social responsibility, be ethical as well. So the next topic I included is the social responsibility of our students. So since this is mostly for the students, so I want to add some of the social responsibility related to the students. So student social responsibility, known as SSR, is the responsibility of every student for his or her action. It is morally binding everyone to act in such a way that people around them are not adversely affected. So as we have discussed, for individual social responsibility in a society, for adults, for other every profession, students have the same principle or same system to rules to follow, that they should every act like such a way that people around them are not adversely affected. They don't have bad effect on them. Student social responsibility is based on an individual's ethic. So again, it is part of your individual ethics. So what are your beliefs, or what is your uh, thinking or your mindset about ethics? It may be impractical, especially in the modern competitive world where everyone works for their self-interest, but will succeed if we take decision based on what will benefit a large number of people and respect everyone's fundamental rights, like I explained you in the previous. So while you are doing social work or social responsibility, keep in mind the larger portion of the society in your mind. They should be benefit for the larger one, and plus don't take away their fundamental right. For example, if you want to do some economic welfare for some people, don't make them prisoner, don't make them slaves, or don't force them to live the way you want to live, or the way you want them to live. And individuals can as individual, we can make our small contribution to society by donating money to trustworthy, saving our resources by reducing our consumption, that is by switching off light or computers when we are not in the use. So as individual, we can do a lot of things. We can, like I said, we can donate that, we can save our resources, we can doing by less consumption. Instead of buying a lot of clothes, we can buy less clothes, we can consume less food. We don't want to, we shouldn't waste the food. We can have a good vehicles which don't giving lot of smoke, so we are saving. Are also switching off light when it's not required, also switching off your computers when they are in the not use. So these are all part of your social responsibility. So I hope you have some good idea of our social responsibility or individual social responsibility to our society, and as well as a student, what is your social responsibility. If you have any question, please let me know. Thank you very much.